if you go down to the woods today, you're going to find a new member of the petrol blog fleet. First things first, this is not a Bedford Rascal Bambi. It's not a Tabbert Express. What it is a Tabbert FFB Classic 570, which is a bit of a mouthful. But as you can see from the badge on the grille, it's a Fiat. It's a Fiat Ducato underneath, powered by a super powerful 2.5 litre turbo diesel engine, and then taken from Italy, sent to Germany, where they converted it into the most beautiful and majestic motorhome you're ever likely to see. Believe it or not, a month ago, probably 5 weeks ago, we had no inclination to buy a motorhome whatsoever. But we chanced upon a Bedford Rascal Bambi, which, as you probably know, is a little tiny motorhome. Well, it's not even a motorhome, it's a camper van. I'll come on to the difference in a minute. And we thought, hey, that could be fun. Then, within a matter of a day, that had progressed to a Tabbert Express, and we were virtually ready to buy a Tabbert Express in somewhere in Newcastle. But that fell through. And an hour after it fell through, this came up, and I thought, that looks delicious. Said nobody ever when they looked at an FFB Classic 570. But we thought, this is quite retro, and actually it's big enough to suit our needs. Okay, so what we have, in a nutshell, is a motorhome that's based on something Italian, crafted by Germans, and driven by two British idiots. This thing is powered by a 2.5 litre turbo diesel engine. But when I say powered by, there isn't much power to speak of, because it weighs the equivalent of the Royal Albert Hall. And if you've ever tried to fit an engine to the Royal Albert Hall, you'll know that the results are pretty unspectacular. Seriously, I've walked backwards quicker than this thing goes forward. And on some hills, there isn't a gear low enough to get this thing up a hill. So I apologise in advance if you're stuck behind this camper van, motorhome, at any point over the next 6 or 7 weeks. Right, to all the traditional caravanists, motorhomists, campists, anybody out there who knows anything about these things, I apologise for all the novice mistakes I'm going to make over the next coming weeks and months, and even the next coming minutes, because until recently I didn't know the difference between a camper van and a motorhome. But if I'm right, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, a camper van is based on a van, and everything is based within the confines of the van, whereas a motorhome is coach built to be a home on wheels, hence motorhome. But forgive me if I'm wrong, and like I say, I am the world's biggest motorhome novice. I knew nothing about Tabbert or FFB. I know it's vaguely like a Heimer, and Heimers are very cool. Maybe one day I'll progress to a Heimer. But for now, I'm with this magnificent specimen. I mean, it's sleek. It's not sleek at all. It's beautiful. It's not beautiful at all either, but it's ours. And it's got a name, which I'll come on to in a minute. Right, so the purpose of this video is just an introduction to the camper van, motorhome as it stands right now, before we've done anything to it. There's a few upgrades we want to do, which I'll take you through, but this is basically a kind of, it's something like the mystery home, isn't it, on Escape to the Country. This is the weird left field wild card that comes out at the end when you've all but given up hope that they're actually going to find them a decent house in the country. This is the wild card, this is left field. And when I say left field, I mean left field, because look, it's left-hand drive, which is going to be great when we're in France. Not so good when we're trying to get through the streets of the United Kingdom. So here's a quick tour of this desirable and very bijou des res. Is that enough state agent speak for you? So coming down the side, we've got a wing mirror. How delightful. And here is where you put the diesel in, and this is where you put the fresh water in. Top tip, never get the two mixed up, because that's Wasser and that's diesel. And you don't want to be drinking diesel, and you don't want to be putting Wasser in your diesel tank. So not going to be getting them mixed up. This is the front door, which we'll come on to in a minute. We'll go inside, we'll go through the keyhole in a minute. So down here, I believe, if I've got this right, and there are a lot of keys. There is a lot of keys to this thing. Now I think, if I get this one right, I think this is the key for this compartment. Can you get the key in the right way around? No, is it that one? Yeah, so the keys are in, and there are your gas bottles. Okay, so 2 gas bolters in there, all very, very exciting. It's like the cupboard under the stairs. Moving along, we've got another compartment here. This is the most important room in the house. This is the job that none of us are going to want to be doing when we're stuck in a field in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night. That is a toilet cassette. A Thetford toilet cassette. Bagsy not doing that one on the first trip out. Okay, so moving around to the other side, which I'll come on to the back in a minute. We'll just go around to the other side. There is the back door. That is the back door with its own lock. And we have another compartment here. This is a very exciting compartment. I think I'm overclaiming that. I should have been an estate agent because it isn't exciting at all. But you have to do this one slightly differently because you've got 2 locks. And then it opens up and you've got a big compartment in there. And actually you can get into the motorhome through there. It's like a trap door. It's like the cellar door to your motorhome. That's where you can get into. If you forget your keys, there's another way in. And you've got your cables there for when you're hooking up. And there's a hook there for the awning, which I'll show you in a sec. In there, it smells like damp self-catering cottage. If anyone knows what that smell is, you'll know exactly how that smells. That's glorious smell-o-vision. You don't get that on any other YouTube channel. Okay, having so many keys, I felt like a jailer. Okay, and up there, you can see the awning, which effectively creates an extension without planning permission. Every time you park up, pull out your awning and you've got yourself an extension, a veranda, and you can sit out there while you're watching the wildlife go by. I want to point this out. If you can see along the side here, there are many, many holes. Many holes. Well, many divots. Believe it or not, the original owner picked them up when driving through a Portuguese village and loads of kids opened fire with BB guns. Over the years, I'd like to embellish that story and turn it into something much more dramatic, like they're outrunning the feds on a drugs heist or something. Or maybe it was Pablo Escobar's Colombian hideout, but no, they were Portuguese kids mucking about with a BB gun. So bit of heritage there. Right, on the back you've got the majestic Fiat badge with Heisenberg having right of place. Lovely retro Norfolk line GB plate beneath the original Henning dealer sticker from Germany, and there's the old German license plate. So it was originally sold in Germany. Turbo diesel. And on the back here, you can see, this is very exciting. It's like having a new house. This is your bike rack. So your bike rack opens up. Go along with that, and no one's going to be tailgating you, are they? No Audi and no right mind will be tailgating you with that thing out. So that goes back up. It was clean, but it's been out on the side of the road, but it's been serviced this week, so it's not as clean as it was going to be. Tow bar at the bottom. And up here, this is very exciting. Look at this. Look. Your own ladder. I mean, it's every person's dream to have this, surely. Or nightmare. I'm actually going to climb up now with one hand, so this could go disastrously wrong. Oh my god, it's difficult with one hand. Anyway, look, classic 570. Seen better days. Climbing onto the roof, we see a satellite dish. Perfect when you were travelling through East Germany in 1991. Well, it wasn't East Germany then, but it was the remnants of the original East Germany. And a roof with 2 skylights and plenty of grime. That's where you send the children up. Well, this could be very useful in Le Mans. So we're going to go down to Le Mans next year, and we're going to watch the action from the glory of our rooftop terrace. I'm going to call this a terrace. We've had the veranda. This is a terrace. I definitely should have been an estate agent. I'm going to climb back down again with one hand. So it could go disastrously wrong. There's another window there. That's the bathroom window. It's very exciting. All right, I'm now down on the floor, and I'm going to pause now. I just want to say one more thing. This is the first vehicle I've had with lights on the roof. So exciting. I am basically an HGV driver now. It's probably the bit you've all been waiting for. We're actually going to go in through the back door. So, look at this. Now, all the soft furnishings in here are as we found it. We are going to be changing things like curtains and cushions. But as it stands, this is our Des Res. This is a little guided tour of the Des Res. And one thing I will say, the quality of the workmanship in this thing is outstanding. I've read somewhere that the Tabbert were like the FFB and Tabbert were like the Rolls Royce of motorhomes of the day. So everything has been done beautifully well. Beautifully crafted cupboards. Everything's done. And I tell you what, when the designers were sat around in their boardroom, the Germans sat around the board table smoking sausages, they made sure they didn't leave any nook or cranny or no void without a cupboard or storage in it, because they've done everything in this place. So we've got a light above here, and underneath this, look, this is what I love about motorhomes. It's like a voyage of discovery. So we open this up. Look at this. Achtung, Achtung, heißer, whatever that is. Right, so we have an oven, or a grill, and an oven top, a cooker. Well, I'll get my words right in a minute. A cooker, and look, a little draining board with a sink and a tap, a little shelf at the top, and underneath here is a little drawer. Normally in a sink, it's a dummy under the sink, isn't it, the drawer? This is actually a drawer. Underneath here, if I pull this little clip, pull that up, we have a fridge with a freezer compartment, the original Electrolux fridge. And underneath here, in another cupboard, we have a microwave and a toaster. So sweeping round, this big door here is the most important room in the house. We have a toilet, obviously, with toilet roll, and a shower, and a back window, and a sink. And it's surprisingly big. It's what you don't get in a tiny camper van. You certainly wouldn't get that in a Bedford Rascal van. In here, there's a link to the satellite dish, and a big cupboard with an old Micro Machines toy. That didn't come with it, unfortunately. And an original, is that Trumatic heater. It's rolling around. You've got all the controls for things like your water and your electricity and all your levels here. Speaker, more cupboards, bits and bobs. Again, this is pretty much as we found it. We have given it a bit of a scrub, but it's as we found it. Shelving unit up there. Horrible net curtains and curtains which are going to come out and be redone. All the original seats. This converts into a bed, so you can sleep two down here. The original floor, which is good, nice hard wearing floor. You've got windows, obviously. That's one thing we liked about this one is there's a lot of views. So you've got the view out the side, another view out the other side, and there's even a window at the back, two windows at the back in fact. So you're never short of views. Wherever you're parked up, there's plenty to see. You've got a skylight up there, which looks a bit grubby, but it's not as bad as it looks, I promise. The table, which this drops down. I won't do it now because it's boring, but this table drops down and then the bed sits on top of it. Weirdly, it doesn't, it just sort of sits there when you're moving it around. But obviously you can take it outside and that can be your table for when you're having breakfast in the morning. And then if you look up here, this is standard course I think for motorhomes these days. It's very exciting. If you undo this little seat belt here and undo this seat belt there, and then move that to one side and then pull this down, you need a big old tug. Look, 2 extra beds. Now if I get this right, I think this slides forward, slots down there, and this pulls forward again. I think that's upside down. There you go. And then you have your bed above the seats. Obviously only one in Cockpit could drive it at the moment, but there are beds above the seats. So the final piece of the inside is the cockpit, or the captain's chairs. There's 2 chairs in the front, obviously, the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And this one actually swivels round. That swivels round to face the inside, which is quite cool. Fiat Ducato dashboard and switchgear. Heisenberg looking good there. And the view out the front is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I mean, you need sunglasses to wear this thing. It's vast. And even the Germans thought of this, look. Sun visors on little hooks coming down. Another one there. And there's actually little extensions, you know, on Skodas where they've got little extensions at the end, so it just cuts this little gap here. On this one, we've got two little gloves that sit on the end of this and extend them. You need these a lot because there is a lot of window at the front. Big open space on the front here. No cup holders, they'll be fitted. We've got a column change and surprisingly easy to drive. It's big. You're never not aware that you're not driving something big. Unfortunately, you can't get Capri or lorry driver elbow because it's just too far to get your elbow onto the window. And you've got a sliding door on this side. What else have we got? Got a Don Henley CD here for the Clarion CD player. Unfortunately, the Clarion CD player doesn't work, so we'll have to do something about that. More storage outlets here, including a Little Chef motorist map from 1991, so we can tour Little Chef outlets that are now closed. Another cupboard, and yeah, so that is it. Oh, and this is the reason why it's called Erika, because that teddy bear there is called Eric, and Eric has been with this camper van for as long as, well, certainly the last owner had him in here. So we thought, well, if he's called Eric, then this should be called Erika. And I think every motorhome or every camper van has to have a name. That's the impression I get off the internet. So this was meant to be an introduction. Tomorrow night we'll be camping in it for the first time. We're watching the Champions League unfold from the comfort of our camper van. So I'm sure we'll be documenting that. So 3 of you can watch that, I'm sure. So as I pop outside the door, the back door, I'd like to say thank you for watching this remarkable video of this remarkable motorhome that is now ours. This 1991 elegant, graceful and majestic motorhome. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. Cheers.